Hey, we are live. Let's see who pops in today. Trying to stay out of the path of the sun here because it is getting so much lighter, so much later. So, oh, there's Susan. Hi. I can't believe the sun has still not set and it's 8 o'clock. It's amazing. And we have another 2 months of this, so sun's gonna be up late. How are you doing, Susan? How was your week? It's always 8 o'clock for me on these calls when I go live, and it's normally I'm in the dark. So this is very exciting, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you couldn't tell from my short that I posted this morning, I had floor seats to Stars on Ice, which was very exciting. I've never gone to anything like that before. I've never had floor seats to anything in my entire life, but I've definitely never even seen skating in person. So seeing as that's the closest I'm getting to roller skating for a while, it was very exciting. Yeah, how are you doing, Susan? I got your email, by the way. I still haven't responded because it's been a crazy couple days. But I love the ring thing and the ring as like a proxy. How's that working for you? Are you wearing it now? Or are you going to save it for when you're... Susan says, it was good. I got my crown put in. Oh, good. And while in the dentist chair, I put in my mouth guard. And when I took it out, another crown fell out while you were in the dentist chair? Well, thank goodness. Man, what's wrong with your mouth guard or your crowns? So they had to do two, so they had to do it back to back. Was the dentist surprised? Is this like a thing that happens? Susan says, "Oh yes, I am loving my ring, and I got a necklace with two little hands holding rose quartz, and it twirls. I love them. Oh my god, that's awesome. That is so exciting. How is your mouth though? Like, and should you be wearing a mouth guard if it's going to make all the crowns fall out? How do we solve this problem?" Susan said the first crown that fell out was 7 years old, and the second one was... I thought they're supposed to last for like 25 years or plus. That's wild. So was it shoddy dentistry? Like, just that the dentist who did it didn't glue them in right? Or... Hi, Anthony. Anthony says, "Hi everyone, Helmi. I thought you had colored your hair, and I thought that was you skating." Oh yeah. I have no problem with the overhead lift. Yeah, no issues. Oh my god. That was the closest I got to skating, so it was really exciting for me. Susan said, I asked if the mouth guard was too tight, and the dentist said no. I've worn it a number of nights and maybe over my worry. I mean, yeah, it's just weird. Like, why would... that's not supposed to happen? I actually have I forget which tooth it is. One of my front teeth, the bottom half of it is fake because when I was 7, I was on a speedboat and they like hit a wave and like jerked forward, and I hit my face on the side of the boat, and it broke my tooth in half. And so this would have been like in 1991. And I went and had the fake, it's like a cap or something, put on. And then a week. Oh no, that's not what happened. I was washing vegetables at the sink, and I was on a stool, and the stool slipped out from under me, and I bashed my face on the faucet. And then a week later, so they put the thing on, and then a week later, I was on the speedboat, and the whole thing they put on fell off in my mouth, and I just like spat it out. And it had only been on for a week, and it was supposed to last like 20 years. And that, so I had it put back in again. And then that was in 1991. And it's never, it's never been a problem since. So I feel like sometimes they know and sometimes they don't know, you know? Anthony, how are you doing? How was your week? Um, Susan says, I love my dentist. I cry as they give me tender care. Oh, I love that. I love when there's gentleness. Like people need gentleness, and I love it, especially like healthcare workers, like when they're tender, when they touch you and stuff. It just ugh. I'm trying to turn my light on. Hang on. Did it go? No. Especially for the dentist, because it's so uncomfortable, and like it just makes you feel like they care about like how you're feeling, and you know what I mean? That's awesome. Anthony, how was your week? Today was the first warm-ish day in by warm I mean like 12 degrees, which I will look up to see what it is in American. 53 degrees, but that's warm here. So I was able to go outside and sit by the lake and get some sunshine. And Anthony says, busy week, but I'm good, thanks. Yay. You always have busy weeks, Anthony. Do you ever go on vacation? Do you ever take a week off? If so, what do you do for vacations? Susan goes to Hawaii, which a bunch of us did not know we were allowed to do alone. And now other people are getting on her bandwagon of going to Hawaii. I talked to a woman yesterday from Kauai, and she says it's the most beautiful of all of the Hawaii islands because it has the most diverse plant life, I think, like in the world, which is very cool. I've never been to Hawaii. But anyways, vacations, breaks, those things are important too. Okay, we have somebody else in here. Do you want to say hi? How's your mouth feeling now, Susan? Like, is it all fixed and you have no more crowns that are coming out and you're good to go? Like, is it or is it still sore? Does it still hurt? You're totally fine. Okay. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Anthony, has it warmed up in Ontario yet? People were out today. It was sunny and 12 degrees / 53 degrees. And people were out in shorts, jogging, kids out playing. The grass has finally turned green here instead of brown. So everyone's really excited. Even though we don't have any buds on the trees yet, and it's starting to get to me, starting to drive me a little bit crazy. But then I was talking to somebody in New York, and they said that it's been so hot and then cold and then hot and then cold, like really hot and then a frost and then really hot and then a frost, that they're worried about like the fruit trees and stuff. Like trees have started to bud and bloom, and then the frost comes and it's like supposed to be really bad for it. So I don't know. I'm just happy I got some sunshine today. Got to go sit by the water. Um, yeah. And I got to go see Stars on Ice. So that was exciting. Elvis Stoiko was in it, which I was not expecting. Very exciting. I watched him on TV when I was a kid in the 90s watching the Olympics. He's like 54 and he's still like skating doubles, doing his whole thing. 54. And he was like great. So I feel like, you find something you love and then you just keep doing it. There's a gymnast who used to compete and just do. I want to say his name was Ivan Ivankov, but I don't know if I'm remembering that right. But he used to just compete on rings, which is like the hardest event. And every 4 years at the Olympics, like he would just show up and do his rings routine, and that was it. But it was like he was like 45 years old, and everyone's like, "How are you doing this? Like, how are you so long lived in this sport?" And he's like, 5 days a week, I go to the gymnastics club. I do my 3-minute ring routine. Like he does a warm up and then he does his 90-second ring routine and then he leaves. And he just does that 5 days a week. So that then he can go to the Olympics every 4 years. And he did that for like 20 plus years. So, I guess there's something everybody has that they can like keep doing as they age. It is impressive. Yeah, Susan, very impressive. And that's originally why I started roller skating, because I was like, I need something that's going to keep me active. And I hate swimming. I mean, I like swimming in a lake or something, but I hate going to a pool. The chlorine like burns my eyes, turns my hair green. Like, I just hate chlorine. Um, and I don't like running, and I don't like sitting on a bike. And walking I like, but it takes a long time to get enough steps in. So I was like, I'm going to do roller skating. That's something I could do that I can have low impact on my joints. And like, it's something I can do as I age, and it's something that'll be really fun. And I'm always going to want to do that. And it's like cardio I'm excited to do. And it was very low impact on my joints until I started doing jumps, and then now it's very hard impact on one particular joint. So that kind of bit me in the butt. There are saltwater pools that don't have chlorine. Public pools? I've been in a saltwater pool, like in somebody's backyard. I don't think I've ever heard of a saltwater public pool. Let me look that up. Saltwater. Anthony says, have a week coming up next week. Oh, a week off coming up. I'd like to go to Europe, but might not make it back because I might like it too much. Or they might have no fuel for the flight back. I know. What is up with this whole fuel thing and all the wars? Like, anybody who's traveling, I'm always like recommending that you get the cancellation insurance, because it's just that used to be like, oh well, if I'm feeling fancy, but now it's like, I feel like it's a must have. Like, how things are getting so unpredictable. You're right, Anthony. What part of Europe would you like to go to though? I want to say Portugal. I feel like we already talked about this. Anthony says Europe only has 3 to 4 weeks of fuel left. I don't know what that means. The continent, like the EU, is going to run out of fuel. Wait, EU is going to run out of fuel like to put into cars and like heating and stuff? Is that what you mean, Anthony? Or they're going to run out of fuel for planes? Or just everything? Why is Europe suffering through? Oh, just for the planes. Okay, the EU fuel for planes. Damn, that doesn't seem sustainable, especially at this time of year. Like this is the time of year that everybody wants to go to Europe. This is like tourism central. So like they've got to do something about that. Get off gas. Off gas. Okay. Um I feel like that's an untenable situation. I feel like everyone in Europe is going to go yell at America until they figure out their stuff. Like that can't happen, can it? Like can the EU just run out of fuel for planes and then people are just stranded there and they're like taking boats back? Like what is the That's not sustainable. Although I guess gasoline in general is not sustainable. When I found out it was made from dinosaurs, I was floored. That was the most magical thing I'd ever heard of, that like petroleum is like oil deposits are from like mammals who died along like or not mammals. I feel like it's from dinosaurs. Anyway, I know it's a fossil fuel and it's not sustainable, but it still doesn't seem sustainable that Europe's going to run out. Because then what? Then what? It's like a 2-week boat ride. And that's if you have a really big boat, like a cruise ship or something. Anthony says, yes, it can happen. I heard Air Transat canceled 10,000 flights. 10,000? That's like they're just quitting. Like you're just not an airline at a certain point if you if you cancel 10,000 flights. You're just pretending to be an airline because they're going to lose money because the cost of fuel is so high. They're going to lose too much money. Is that why? Ugh. I don't like that. I hope they get this figured out before that happens. Aviation gas has doubled. Oh, and it was like slim margins already on their profit margins, right? Yeah, in Canada, it was edging towards $2 a liter, and they intervened and like lowered the price because I was like, if that hits $2 a liter, it's gonna be riots. Like that's it's like when the in history, like when the price of bread gets too high, there's a revolution at some like whenever people like don't have the basics, like that's when the whole thing falls apart. All right, well, nothing much we can do about that, I guess. Hopefully people in charge figure it out, although American leadership is unhinged. Anthony says Spirit Airlines is on the verge of bankruptcy with 14,000 employees. Oh, but I remember this during COVID because my upstairs neighbor was a pilot and he worked for Air Canada, and he stopped working because they grounded all the flights, and he he ended up becoming a realtor, which I feel like was a lateral move, but um they like it stopped for a while and then everybody went back. But then by the time they went back, he was already being a realtor, and he's like, I don't want to go back and have it be so unpredictable. Um Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, well, I can't I can't support world events that well. I can only support nervous systems who are upset about world events. So, what else do we have going on, guys? This is my spring flower crown because it was the first nice day. And just that it was sunny because it's been that temperature, but it hasn't been sunny. Thank you, Susan. Susan says, beautiful. Thank you. I also am on a bit of a tear because I ordered all these markers and I am obsessed. They're like the alcohol based markers. I've never had nice markers. And it is just a treat. Like, you don't think about what a difference it makes to just have like nice quality. Anthony says it's 13 in Ontario. Yeah, so same as here. Um, oh, but 13 and sunny. I was out there in my winter coat too. Like, and then just as I warmed up, I took it off. Um, and I ended up playing in the water with a stick. And then these little kids came over and they were like, "What are you doing?" But we want to play too. And then I ended up using the stick to make tic-tac-toe on the rocks. And I didn't win as often as I was expecting to. So I think I'm a little rusty. It was fun. Yeah, Susan says fun. Yep, it was fun. I wonder if David's coming tonight. I know he's going through a lot with his boss. A lot of people I've been talking to lately are struggling with resistance. And I was just going through that this past week where I was like, no, I don't want to. I shouldn't have to. I've already done all this work. I shouldn't have to do more work, you know? And I just basically felt sorry for myself for a couple days. And then as soon as I stopped resisting it and I just accepted it, miracles started happening. It's it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So, if you're struggling with resistance, I mean, you can struggle with it as long as you want, I guess. But there's good things that happen when you set it down as a little enticement. Um, and apparently, I'm writing a chapter in a book that's coming up. That's due in a month, less than a month now. So I've been working on my outline for that. And gonna have a TV spot booked in June, which is very exciting for Dazzle. They want to come to my house. It's a chapter in someone. It's a compilation book. It's like everybody writes their own chapter. Yeah, listen to this. They want to come to my house, bring me flowers, like florist, like beautiful arrangement, custom made for me kind of flowers. Then they want to interview me about Dazzle, and then they want to decorate my house in flowers. And I was like, please come and do that. Please, I want more flowers. I mean, all the flowers I have in my house are fake, so it'll be nice to have real flowers. But yeah, it is a win-win. And I was like, I've never heard of this before. I've never heard of a TV florist interview. Like, the universe invented that just for me, I think. So that's pretty exciting. And I am probably going to wear the sparkliest thing I own. That's my goal. So, yeah, you just never know. You never can tell with miracles. You never know which way they're going to go or where they're going to come from. But yeah, what do you guys Susan says, are you supposed to use the flowers on the cupcakes or make flower crowns with them or just decoration? Um no, it's just they just want to decorate my space in flowers. I I don't I think it's because Dazzle is cakes. And so they were like cake and flowers, which is amazing. I mean, but you could interview me without flowers and I would still do the interview. Like the fact that they're adding on this like personalized like flower decoration portion of the program is like bring it on. I maybe they'll make me a flower crown out of real flowers. I mean, it won't live very long. I don't think that would even work. Um Susan says that's perfect for your design theme. Yeah. There are so many flowers. Yeah. So yeah, so now there'll be more. I mean, I don't even know where they're gonna put them because there's so many flowers already, but I'm sure the florist will be up to the challenge. But it's like a real florist, like a fancy florist. So some kind of volunteer appreciation thing. I don't know. I feel like the universe made it just for me. Um Susan said, when I had a commitment ceremony in Hawaii, I wore a flower crown with real flowers and lace. Oh yeah, Hawaii's famous for that. Okay, how long do the flowers last if you put them in a flower crown and a lei? Like I assume just like that day, maybe? Or do they like does it get all wilty and mushy and um smushy? Oh, it lasts for days, really? Okay. I heard when you go to Hawaii, they give you leis. Like you get off the plane and they give you one, but I assume it's not real flowers because that would be very expensive. Um, Now I want to see the picture of you in a flower crown and a lei. It's basically a flower crown and then a big flower necklace, right? That's what the lei is. That's awesome. Um, yeah, so do you guys need support with anything or is everybody, I mean, it's just the two of you in here. Um, are you guys good? I don't know what to talk about for another half an hour if everybody's fine. I was thinking that people weren't coming because I wasn't I missed a day on the Sunday in the morning where I was like I'm going to go live tonight. But I did it this morning. So I can't explain. Susan says there are shell leis, and you can buy real flower leis with orchid or very fragrant plumerias. Wow. Oh, I'm good. I want to buy that. That's what I want. That's awesome. So awesome. I mean, and then it's like a necklace that smells incredible. Like that just sounds like a fairy tale. I want to do that. I got to go to Hawaii, I guess. The only way I could do it, it's same as going to Japan. The only way I could do it is if I flew to Vancouver, stayed there for like the weekend, like gave myself a couple of days on the West Coast, and uh then went on to the next thing. I don't think I could fly straight from the Atlantic Ocean to the middle of the Pacific. That sounds overwhelming. Okay, well, I have actually a pretty busy night. If you guys are good and nobody else is here, then I may just call it at the halfway mark instead of the full hour. Susan says there are ways to travel to combat jet lag. Homeopathic, no jet lag is what I take throughout the flight. Ooh. Yeah, it's not the jet lag for me. It's like being in a steel tube for like 20 hours straight. Like I think I would go insane. Okay, well let's call it here. Thank you guys so much for coming. I love that you showed up. And yeah, maybe next week there'll be more people who need more support, and if not, I will see you next week. Yay! Anthony, I hope you have a great vacation. Wherever you go, whatever you do. I hope you get a nice break. All right. See you guys later. Bye.